day 23. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, so take the calculator out, have things ready. What do we have here? Leanne collects data throughout the basketball season, uses the data to determine the probabilities of different teams playing. The probabilities for her favorite 4 teams playing the championship are shown below. And we did see this question, I think, on a test. Which of the teams is least likely to play in the championship game? So, well, this is not that difficult, but so you can, I would change these to a percentage or even a decimal, whichever one you want, so that you can easily, it's easier to compare. 2/3, if you put it in your calculator and you change it to a decimal, it's going to be 66.6%. 4/5 is 80%. 3/8, I have no idea. It's like 3/8 is 37.5%. And then 1/2 is 50%. So it's much easier to now detect which team is the least likely to make it. So the chance that has this less chance to go to the championship is obviously this one. So that would be the Bulldogs, which, yeah. Number 2, the initial balance of the savings account was $275. After which transactions will the balance of the savings account be the same as the initial? What the heck? Hang on a second. So you have a bank account and you have $275, okay? And then you're going to deposit, take out, deposit, take out. So which of these 4, after which of these 4 will you still have $275? So let's look at A. So A says you have $275, you take out minus $232, and then you put back in $132. Do you think you're going to have $275? No, because you spent more than you put back in. So A is gone. Let's try B. You put in, so you had $275, and you're going to put $278 on top of that. So you put plus $278. And then you take out $278. Well, that makes sense, right? You have $275. You put $278, so you have $500 and something dollars, and then you take $278 out, and you're back to $75. So this one makes sense. So this one you end up with what you had. So this one looks good. See, a withdrawal. So you have $275. You take $115 out, and you put back $312. Do you think you're gonna have $275 back? No, you won't, because you took out $115, and if you put back $115, that would have been fine, but you put way more than what you had spent, which was $115. So your balance, you're actually going to have more money in your account than you had in the beginning. So C is gone. D, so you had $275, you put in another $205, right? So now you have like $480, and then you take out $317. So you go plus, you had $275, you added $205 on top of that, you took $317 out. Do you think you're going to have $275 back? No, because you spent a little bit more than what you had put in. So in any case, what you can always use your calculator, right? Go 275 plus 205 minus 317 and see if that equals back to 217. So the only one that makes sense is B. Researchers surveyed 5 random selected employees from each of the 4 companies about their daily commutes to work. 5 employees for each. Okay, the table below shows the commute times for the surveyed employees. So in company 1, 5 different people. One person takes 24 minutes, 26 minutes, the other one 28, 30, 23, 21. Okay, so we have, and then in company 2, some guy lives really close to the company because they only take 6 minutes or 9 minutes, but one lives a little bit far. In company 3, everybody gets to work in 15 minutes, so they're either living in the same apartment complex, maybe the same house, or same neighborhood, same block. Company 4, most of them look like they come within 10-15 minutes, and then there's one fella here that lives a little bit further out, right? So based on the data, which company most likely has the longest average commute per time? So you can you can take the average, right? Add them all up, divide it by 5. I'm going to say that it's these guys over here. Okay, so I'm just going to add them up. 24 plus 26 plus 28 plus 23 plus 21 divided by 5 equals 24 plus 26 plus 28 plus 23 plus 21 equals 125 divided by 5. Their average time is about 25, right? That should have been a little bit obvious. So the average time is about 25. This one obviously is just 15. This one might be in the 20s, right? Because one guy makes everybody look like they take a long time. So 13 plus 10 plus 45 plus 12 plus 15 equals, divided by 5, and look, 19. So the average is 19. And this one looks, again, like the average. Well, you have two people who are, don't take too long to go to work. So 6 plus 32 plus 9 plus 31 plus 21, enter, divided by 5, 19.8. So the longest one is obviously, it's not that, well, yeah, more obvious that this one would be, I would have been between this or this. So company 1 has the longest average commute per employee. In average, most employee takes 25 minutes to get to work. 4, in a scale drawing, 1 centimeter. I'm going to write 2 3/4 feet. All right, and the length of the kitchen is 4.5 centimeters. In the drawing, what is it in real life? Well, if you set up your proportion this way, centimeters on top, feet and feet at the bottom, it makes life so much easier. Relationship times 4.5, so just times 4.5. So my calculator, I'm not gonna, you can enter the fractions obviously, but I'm gonna choose to do decimals. 275 times 4.5, and I get 12.375. 12.375, which is the same thing as 12 3/8. So the answer is D. A passenger train has tickets available for 12 window seats and 8 aisle seats. The next person to buy a ticket will randomly be assigned to one of those seats. What's the probability that the next person will get an aisle seat? Well, first of all, there's 12 window, 8 aisle. So there's total 20 seats, right? So what's the probability that the next person will get an aisle seat? Well, there's 20 seats and there's only 8 aisles. So the probability of getting an aisle seat is 8 out of 20. And if you simplify, you can divide this by 4, and you get 2. Divide the bottom by 4, and you get 5, or 2/5. Do we have a 2/5? Yeah, we do. The scale of what is the actual area? The scale drawing of a field in the shape of a triangle is shown below. What's the actual area in square meters of this field? So, well, don't forget, what is another one? The area, right? The area of a triangle is area equals base times height divided by 2. Well, this is the base. And in here, so let me just say the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Oh, so it says that each block here, each square is 2 meters. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So my base is 14 meters in real life. My height, remember the height of a triangle is this from here to here. This is not the height, and that's not the height either. So this is the height right here. Right, straight line. So again, this is 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, this is 10, right? So each, we're counting. I don't like how that came out. So this is 2, this is another 2, this is another 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and another 2 on the top is 10. So my height is 10 meters in real life. So we can use that in the formula. Base is 14, height is 10 divided by 2. And we get that this is going to be 70 meters squared. Okay. No. 7. A vehicle uses 1 1/8 gallons of gas to travel 13.5 miles. At this rate, how many miles can he travel per gallon? So we want the unit rate. So he can go 13.5 miles with 1 1/8 gallons. So therefore, we want to find out how much can he travel with 1 gallon. So we want you find the unit rate. So I think it's easier if you change these to a what do you call that? Improper fraction. So 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1, so this is 9/8. So I'm going to rewrite that. Right? 9/8 gallons, and I'm going to rewrite the top two. 2 times 13 is 26. 26 plus 1 is 27/2. So it's the same exact way, except I'm using improper fractions. Now, I still want the unit rate. Now, and 9/8 of a gallon, I can multiply that by the reciprocal, which is 8/9. Right? 9/8 times 8/9 gives me 1. So on top, I'm going to multiply it by 8/9 as well. And to me, this is easier. Okay, so the bottom, these all simplify to 1 gallon, which is what I wanted anyway. 27/2 times 8/9, just put it in your calculator. And I'm going to get 27 times 4, enter divided by 9, it gets 12. This gets to be 12 miles. So he can travel with 1 gallon of gas 12 miles, and we have the answer C. 8. This is 2 teams going bowling on Friday and Saturday. So let's see what we can conclude. Which one can we conclude from the box plot? The scores on Fridays and the scores on Sundays have the same median. Is that true? Well, here's my median, and here's my median. They're not the same, so A is gone. The score on Friday have a greater median. Yes, the one on Friday, you can tell right here it's greater than and the score on Friday have a greater median and the greater interquartile range. Is the interquartile range on Friday greater than? So from here, this is what 220. Are we going by 5, 12, 5 to 10? Yeah, so it'd be 220. Right, this is Q3 minus Q1, which is 200. So the interquartile range is 20. And the interquartile range here is 210. Sorry, Q3, right? So it's going to be 210 minus 190. Right, because this is 195 and this is 190. So it's also 220. It says that they're both greater than on Saturday. They're not. The median is greater, but the interquartile range is the same. So that's gone. The score on Friday have a greater interquartile range? No, we just established that the interquartile range are the same, so we're going to cross it out. The score on Friday have a greater median? Yes, the median is greater. But both data have the same interquartile range, and that's the one we want. 9, which expression is equivalent to this? Alright, so let's solve. So we're going to do this distributive property here, and then combine like terms. So let's leave this first guy over here. It's waiting out. So I can, yeah, let's leave it like this. H minus negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 5 is 15. Right? I don't know why I did this. Negative times a positive is a negative, and 3 times 5 is 15H. Second one, negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 times a half, we can write it as 1.5, or 3/2. Right. So now I know that these two can be, I can combine like terms. I can combine these two because they both have h's, and it's going to be plus 3/2. So anything that has plus 3/2, it's still an option. So this one has, this one has, this one doesn't, garbage. This one doesn't, garbage. So my either going to be A or C. Now 7/2, okay, just for us to find what's 7 over 2. 7. I'm going to change this to a no, I find a common denominator because it's in the fraction. So that's 2 over 7h. Remember, this is over 1, right? So I'm going to make that over 2. And so it's times 2 here, times 2 at the bottom, at the top. So that's 30. If I combine 7 minus 30, I forgot the h. So 7 minus 30 is the same thing as 7 plus negative 30. So if you do that in the calculator, you're going to get negative 23h over 2 plus 3 over 2, right? So the only one that makes sense is this one. Jeannie purchased a concert ticket on the website. The original price of the ticket was $75. Okay. She used a coupon to receive a 20% discount. And then the website applied a 10% service fee to the discounted prices. Jeannie's ticket was less than the original price by what percent? Right, so let's do this. So $75, she got a 20% discount. So let's do this the long way. So multiply by 0.2. You're going to find out that it's going to be it's going to be 1.5. So here's her first discount. So $75 minus 1.5. 75 minus 1.5, and you get her new price is 73.50. Okay. Now, from here, she got 20%. So here it's her discounted price. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong. Stop. Yes. And something wrong that I did was it's not 1.5, it's 15. So her discount was $15 because it's 20%. Why did I get 1.5? So 75 times 0.2 is $15, so you got a $15 discount. So 75 minus 15, it brings your price down all the way to $60. But now the website says we're going to charge you a service fee, a 10% service fee. So $60 times 10% service fee, not $10 service fee. So let's see what 10% of 60 is. I'll just do it. And 60 times 0.1 is $6. So that's their service fee. So now here was the discounted price plus a service fee, and now the price goes back up to 66. And now the question they're asking is how much. So the initial price of the initial price of the ticket was 75. Now it's 66. So the ticket is still cheaper, but the question is by how much? How much cheaper is a ticket? Is it cheaper now? Is that English? All right, so we can do it, and you can do it. You can find the percentage decrease, right? So you can do new minus original divided by original. So here, this is the old price or the original price, and this is the new price. So the percent change is 66 minus the original over the original. So 66 minus 75. 66 minus 75, it's negative 9. Divide that by 75, and you're going to get 0.12, and you're going to get 0.12, and you change that to a percentage, it's 12%. So the price decrease was of 12%. Okay. A 7th grade ELA teacher wants to order a book for all the 7th grade classes. He wants to know their favorite types of book, which sample would be the most appropriate for this survey. So if he wants to find out what type of book you guys like the most, should he ask 7 girls in each of his classes? That makes no sense. Every 5th student in the 7th grade? Maybe. 1 out of 7 students in his middle school? No, because he's not interested in the 6th or 8th grade, just the 7th grade. So that would not make sense. And all the boys in one of his 7th grade classes? Absolutely not. Answer B. The triangle has side lengths of this, this, and this. Which expression represents the perimeter in centimeters of the triangle? So a triangle, remember what perimeter is. We're adding all 3 sides. So let me just, this is 5.5x plus 6.2y This side is 4.3x plus 8.3z, and this one is 1.6z minus 5.1y. So I would combine all the like terms. So let's start with, so we can write this, so we can actually write 5.5x plus 6.2y plus 1.6y minus 5.1y plus 4.3x plus 8.3z. So we're adding all these three, right? So, fine, 5.5x plus 6.2y plus 4.3x plus 8.3z plus 1.6z minus 5.1y. Right? Combine like terms. Well, let's combine like terms. So let's roll the x's. So 5.5x. Is there another x? There's one right here. 4.3x. Is there anything else with an x? No. So if I add those, because they're both positive, 5.5 plus 4.3 is going to give me 9.8 x's. So this x is going to be 9.8x. So look at your multiple choice. Anything that doesn't have a 9.8x is garbage. So this one has an xy or xz. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. No other choices between these two. So let's do the y's. Only because. So it's positive 6.2 and minus 5.1. So it's 6.2y minus 5.2y. So do that in your calculator. 6.2 minus 5.1, and you're going to get 1.1. 1.1y. And so and you have it here. So you have a 9.8x, check. You have a 1.1y, check. And the other one, really, we don't have to do it because this is the right choice. Okay. D is in the is. This was correct, but this is not incorrect. That's not correct. So the rest really doesn't matter. The amount of money in the bank account increased 21.5% over the year. If the amount of the money at the beginning of the year is represented by N, which expression represents the amount of money in the bank after the increase? So let's say you had $100, and they pause. Okay, back. Oh, yeah, right. So let's assume you had $100 and you wanted to know, and I said that if you leave it in the bank for 1 year, somebody's going to pay you 21.5%. And how much money would you have at the end of the year? Well, to do that, you would multiply 100 times 1. Hang on a second. Which expression represents the amount of money in the bank after the increase? Ugh. Okay, so let me take back what I just said. Okay, so what I would do is I make n equals 100 or n equals 10 or something like that. Right. So if it increased by 21.5%, it'd be 100 times 1.25, 21.5, sorry. If you do that in your calculator, 100 times 121.5, it means that at the end of the year you would have $121.50. Right? Kind of what do you call it? Self-explanatory there. So now, which of these four expressions do you think would give you also 125.5? So again, let's make n equals 100. So one of these expressions has to give me 121.5. So let's just try them out. Let's try D. 21.5 times 100. Multiply that out. You get 2,150. Garbage. Try this one. 0.215 times 100. That gives you 21.5. Nope. Try A. So it's 100 plus 0.215 times 100. So let's multiply these two first. 0.215 times 100 equals 21.5, right? And then we're going to plus 100 there. And guess what? This gives me 125, 121. Gives me 121.5. Okay, and that's the one we're looking for. So you can, I think that would probably be a good way of doing this problem. Okay. 15, Colin wants to buy a television that costs $500, including taxes. So to buy the television, he is going to make a payment plan that requires him to make a down payment of $125. A down payment means that you don't have all the money, $500 with you. So you pay $125. So if you pay $125, right, you say, I'll pay you $125 right now. And the rest, so this is what the rest is, it's $375. So $125 he paid, he's left with $375. And then he says he's going to pay $72.50 each for the next 6 months. He's going to pay $72.50 for 6 months. Do you think that's enough? So 72.5 times 6 means that he pays, right, so $435. So they want to know what the percent of increase is here. So what does that mean? So if you, let's add up what he's paid so far. He paid $125 in the first day, and then he paid $72.50 6 times. So we can do $72.50 plus $72.50 plus $72.50, or just multiply by 6, and we multiply and we add those. So which means that 6, 5, at the end, he ended up paying $560. But you're going to say that's weird, that's not right. It is right because the company whom he bought the TV from has to make some money off him, right? So they allowed him to pay them back in 6 months. I mean, they need the money too. They buy the TV from somewhere and they have to pay those people for the TV that they just sold you. So to compensate for that time, they charge you a little bit extra. Okay. So at the end, Mr. Carl ended up paying $560. So they want to know how much above the original price did he pay. Well, this is that percent of increase, right? So the original price was 500, I'll write original. And the 560 was the new price, right? What he ended up paying at the end. So it's new 560 minus the original over the original. So let's see what you get. Divide by 500, 0.12, which you change to percent, is 12%. So he ended up paying 12% more. Kyo used a wire fencing to form a border around a circular region in his backyard. So let's draw that. So there's some type of fencing. The radius of the region was 5 yards. What is the length of the border? Okay, the radius was 5 yards. So this is 5 yards. And fencing. So he put some type of fencing around this backyard, right? Maybe to keep animals from coming in. So he put some fencing. What's the total length of the border? So how much fencing? So again, this is what I'm interested, right? The circumference. So C equals and it's not in terms of pi, so we gotta actually multiply. So if the radius is 5, the circumference, the diameter is 10 yards, right? It's double. So C equals pi times 10. C equals, and if you multiply 10 times pi, you're going to get 10 pi in your calculator. And all you got to do is press the double arrow button, and it'll give you a number. So 31.42, what is this, yards, not square because it's circumference, right? 31.42 round to the nearest hundreds, but they round to the nearest 10, so B is my answer. 16. Oh, there's a 16. A grocery store sells sliced turkey. Here's a relationship between weight, the pounds, and the costs. You got 2 points, W and R. What statement about the graph is true? Point R means that the unit rate's $10 per pound. Well, it's $10 for sure, but not for 1 pound, but it's $10 for 4 pounds, so that's garbage. Point R means that the unit rate's 4 pounds per dollar. Say it again. Point R means that the unit rate's 4 pounds per dollar. No, it's not. It's 4 pounds for $10. B is also out. C, point W. Point W means that the unit rate's $2.50 per pound. Well, yeah, that's right, because that says it's 1, and this is right here is $2.50, and this is 1 pound. 1 pound of turkey is $2.50, so this one is correct. D, W means that the unit rate's 2.5 pounds per dollar. This right here is 1, not 2.5. Right, so pounds. This W here is the point 1, which is this point, which represents pounds, and 2.5, exactly what's here. And that's garbage, so C is correct answer. What is this? Determine the mass in grams of a piece of this metal that has a volume of 15.3 cubic centimeters. Round to the answer. Round your answer to the nearest cent. So here's a table, right? And hopefully, does it say it's proportional? Table below, okay, it says it's proportional. So we can find K, right? So if I had something that weighs 15.3, how much, volume, how much volume cubic centimeters would it be? Well, something that weighs 34.932, the volume is 4.1. Something that weighs 47.712, the volume is 5.6. So let's just pick the first one here. I'm going to write X here and Y. So let's find the constant proportionality first of all, which is Y over X. And it's going to be 4.1 divided by 34.932, and so if you divide that, you get the constant round your answer to the nearest 10. So it's going to be 4.1 divided by 34.932. So I'm picking these two values, this X and this Y. And in your calculator, you're going to get something like this, 0.11737. Okay, so to get from 34.92, and here's my comment. What is that? What that means is that to get from here to here, I can divide it by 0.11. Let's see if I can just round it to nearest 100. 34.932 divided by 0.11. 34.932 divided by 0.1. No, I'm doing something wrong here. What the heck? Times what's going on here? 1 second, guys. Let me pause this. I don't know. Something not right. Pause. Alright, so back to this question, which here, the problem with this is the decimal. So if I do 4.1 divided by 34.932, I'm going to get 0.11737, and I'm going to continue this, 7370892. So if you do your equation, you get y equals kx, right? Y equals, and k is the whole thing, 0.117370892x. So here's my equation, and now imagine if you have something that's 15.3x, so I'm going to put 15.3 over here, sorry, and I need that volume. right? So it's going to be y equals 0.117370.892 times 15.3 times 15.3, and we get that our volume rounded to the nearest tenth of a gram is going to be 1.8. Okay. And the last one. Okay, you do have to know how to do one of these, and you just make sure you know how to use a calculator. So 5 over, let's do negative 1.5 and just negative 1.5 plus 9.5. It's going to give us 8. So that becomes 5 over 8. Plus, at the bottom, I'm just going to leave this as negative 0.2. Okay, and then on the top, make sure you don't do the distributed properly, okay? I mean, just do order of operations, right? Parentheses 7 plus 11 is 8. 7 plus 11 is 18, right? And then 0.4 times 18, enter, is 7.2. So this is what I have so far, right? So let's leave 5 over 8 like that for a second, and let's just divide 7.2 divided by negative 0.2 should give you negative 14.4. And we can leave this in parentheses. Okay, so it doesn't tell you how to, leave it as a fraction. So let's just add. So in your calculator, do 5 over 8. 5 over 8 plus negative 14.4, and that's going to give us negative 13.775. Final answer. Okay. All right, that's it.